Chapter 125. Duel in the Way of the Harp. Wuxia and the millions of ghosts walked out of the Bone Valley. There was still a heavy fog surrounding them, covering the Bone region. Boom, boom, boom. The sky was pressed with endless black clouds, and there was a roar in the distance. Wuxia stood on top of a mountain peak, looking into the distance. The dark clouds in the sky, but the fateful dark clouds of Les Miserables, were played by the broken army. As if it was even more tragic than it was in the beginning, the sky was gloomy, and the world was filled with the cold wind of depression, 1,000 miles of ice, and 10,000 miles of snow, a scene of bitter cold and despair. However, the loud noise is from the distant Zhenan city outside the city. Outside of Zhenan city were millions of bronze men, each at the peak of Yuaning, with superb power. The generals who had gone out of the city in the past were definitely unable to withstand the million bronze men, but those generals were just in disguise. However, they saw that in the distance, in the sky, there were far word posters hanging, for super huge word posters. The word posters were hanging vertically to encircle a square space, and above the word posters, a dazzling white light blossomed. At this moment, about 600,000 bronze people were trapped in the square space by these 4 word posters. The dazzling white light that bloomed on the word post was like 4 giant walls, sealing the sky and the earth in all directions, trapping the 600,000 bronze people into them. That word post, the word post is the vast chi of the way of the book, a ghost said in surprise beside Wuxia. Haran Genki, Wuxia said doubtfully. Yes, zither, chess, calligraphy and painting. The book is the origin. The way of the book is the most original. That word post must be the Haran Genki, sealing the 600,000 bronze men with 4 word posts. It turns out that the marshal has prepared for this, so it is so. I said that last time, how to go to the major academies to find people. The ghost said in surprise. The major academies, Wuxia said doubtfully. Yes, look at those generals in armor. They are just confusing the broken army. They are all Shu Dao masters. Look, the 4 word posters, a group of Shu Dao masters. Keep writing on the word posters. That's instilling Haran Genki. However, the general outline on the 4 word posters must be even more powerful. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible to seal the 600,000 bronze men, that ghost explained. Wuxia looked over, and sure enough, the group of generals were all grasping their brushes, in the midst of writing to the 4 super huge word posters in the middle of the space. Buzz, 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 buzz. White light rushed into the sky, the calligraphy forming its own vast and righteous chi, borrowing the momentum of the 4 word posters to form a monstrous cage, imprisoning the bronze man that kept rushing inside. Wuxia's eyes narrowed slightly. However, he saw that within the righteousness cage, there were countless little elves flying around in general, and the elves kept rushing against the bronze man's head, as if they wanted to seize control of the bronze man. Sima Changkong used someone to seal the bronze man, wanting to let Gu Chen reclaim the bronze man, but would the bronze man be seized so easily? Wuxia frowned slightly. 600,000 bronze men had been sealed, and there were still 400,000, but they were pounding on Zhenan City's grand formation. Gu Chen, Sima Changkong, you guys are really treacherous. You think that you can recapture my 600,000 bronze men, sealing them with the book Dao. Dream on, broken army roared. Above the city tower, Gu Chen looked at Sima Changkong and said, this method won't work. My elves are outside the bronze bodies, and broken army's elves are inside. More than 10 of them will be able to hold the other side, but it's only a hold. They can't get in at all. It has to work even if it doesn't work. This world of misery is even stronger than Silver Moon cities. Didn't you play Pathos earlier? It simply can't break the world of misery. Last time it could break. It was a collection of the will of the whole city. This time, only your will. It's a spiritual Zither Dao realm. It can't be broken. Let your elf seize the bronze man and use it for me, and then go all out to exterminate the broken army." Sima Changkong shook his head and said, I still have a tune here that was passed down to me by my master before he left. However, it requires me to play it with all my might," Gu Chen explained. "But now that we have sealed the other side's 600,000 bronze men, of course, sealing them is not only the credit of the 4 word posters. Your credit also goes to you. Without your 6 million pixies interfering with the bronze men inside, the 4 word posters wouldn't be able to stop them because of your interfering. That's what made it impossible for them to specialize in breaking the formation. If you go all out to play the new song, the trapped 600,000 bronze men will break out at that time, with millions of bronze men striking together. We don't know how long we'll be able to hold on to this guarding formation." Sima Changkong frowned. "But I want to play that song." Gu Chen showed a hint of bitterness on his face. On the side, Master Liu Nian smiled bitterly. "Masima, from a purely rational point of view, you're right after all. You're trying to play it safe, worrying that Gu Hai's tune won't be able to achieve the effect, and everything we've done previously will be lost, and we might even get the city broken up by the bronze men. But after this period of time, I've realized that I'm more confident in Gu Hai's tune. I suggest letting Gu Chen give it a try." Sima Changkong frowned slightly. At the place of the 4 word posters, the vast positive chi shrouded, the strongest of the Book Dao, who grasped the pen, had the vast positive chi to protect their bodies. The crowd of bronze men could not touch them at all. And there was the sound barrier of Gu Chen, and it was not affected by less misrabels. And the positive chi prisoner cage was very special, and the interior was solid and sturdy. And the 600,000 bronze men attacked at 4 chaotic times, but they could not break through it, while the outside world's bronze men, who were not able to reach them, wanted to go and destroy the word posters. But, with a dash of the body, they suddenly entered the righteousness cage now. 400,000 bronze men attacked the city, but did not manage to break open. The broken army was also a little anxious, coldly looking at the distant positive chi cage. HMPH. Splitting my troops in 2, making it impossible for me to break the city. Then I won't break the city. I'll destroy your 4 word posters first. Broken army let out a cold shout. Probing his hand, he waved it. Boom. The 400,000 bronze men attacking the city suddenly stopped everything and suddenly broke into the righteousness cage together. Damn, Sima Changkong's face changed. The power of 1,000,000 bronze men gathered together was ultimately too great, and the interference of the 6 million Gu Chen's pixies was limited. Suddenly, he struck out with all his might. Boom! With a loud bang, a crack appeared in the 4 walls of Vash Chi. A group of Book Dao experts were instantly sent flying out by the powerful backlash. Not good. Quick, block it. Quick, right. The crowd of Book Dao experts quickly rushed forward in fear, grabbing their brushes and quickly writing. Break. Broken army let out a loud shout. Boom. There was a steep, earth-shattering bang, and under the full force of the millions of bronze men, the positive chi prisoner cage burst apart. Tear, 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 tear. With 4 loud bangs, the 4 super huge word posters were blasted into pieces and floated away. The millions of bronze men were instantly free. Ha 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 ha. The Book Dao. The Book Dao is nothing more than that. Broken army laughed coldly. Above the city tower, everyone's faces sank. Break the city for me. Broken army said in a cold voice. Boom. The millions of bronze men struck out near simultaneously, bombarding the place of the city tower together. Boom. The citadel trembled violently, and a crowd of generals were in an uproar. Gu Chen, maybe I really thought wrong. Here, try it. That tune from Gu Hai. Sima Changkong laughed bitterly. I should have been allowed to come a long time ago. Master's tune. Although it's a bit worse than my song, but it's still very effective. Gu Chen did not forget to put gold on his face even for a moment. With a wave of his probing hand, boom! The 6 million pixies were instantly collected. Oh, not interfering with my bronze man anymore. From afar, Broken Army was slightly surprised. It was because of these pixies that his own bronze men couldn't act in unison, causing destruction that was also much smaller out and more or less interfering. But now, what was Gu Chen up to? Ding! Gu Chen probed his hand unplucked. A huge celestial zither appeared in the void, amplifying Gu Chen's voice. Playing the zither, haha, is it pathos, or ambush on 10 faces? Gu Chen, I know all your tunes, and you still want to fight the zither in front of me. Broken Army revealed a cold smile. Ding ding ding. The sound of Gu Chen's zither rang out, accompanied by the sound of the zither. In the sky, there was a steep and loud sound of war drums, as if it was like a thunderbolt, which blew everyone away. Dang, dang dong, dang 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 dang. Dang, dang dong, knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock knock, dang 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 dang. The war drums shook the heavens and the earth, and under the powerful sound of the war drums, the 10,000 miles of drifting snow were all trembling along with the war drums for a while. The sound of the drums had a murderous aura in it. Earlier commotion in the city generals heard this war drums, steeply a burst of blood-boiling general. It's not ambush on 10 faces. Broken Army raised an eyebrow. Dang, knock knock, dang 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 dang. The sound of war drums became more and more intensive, and slowly, in the void, a green-colored general's silhouette coalesced, beating the drums continuously in general. And the people beating the drums were especially numerous. At a glance, there were millions of people beating the drums. A million drummers. Is this an army? Countless people revealed a look of surprise. There were war drums in wars, but there were only a handful of people beating the drums. But what kind of scene was this that Gu Chen was playing? A million people beating drums. No wonder it is so shocking. However, millions of people beating drums. What kind of battle is it? A million people is a huge fighting force, and you're asking them to just beat the drums. Sima Changkong stared at the sky drummers. Ding 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 ding. As the sound of the zither continued, the picture shown by the zither Dao meaning kept changing. However, it was seen that around the millions of drummers, 4 million generals' silhouettes were standing. HMPH. These zither Dao condensed silhouettes are at most about as powerful as the innate realm. What's the use of that? My bronze men, 100 of them, will be able to wipe out their swarm. 1 million drummers, 4 million useless generals. Gu Chen, is that all you can do? Broken Army sneered. The 4 million generals stood respectfully in all directions, the million drummers beating their drums. And together they looked towards a huge army tent that slowly appeared in the center. 100 feet large army tent. General is mighty. General will win. General is invincible. 4 million generals ripped out their voices and roared to the heavens. Accompanied by the heaven-shaking drums, a huge aura of general mighty gushed out, and the belief that they would surely win in 100 battles suddenly rushed up to the sky. The belief of certain victory, as if it had infected everyone in an instant. In Jinan City, everyone's blood boiled. What kind of general was in that huge army tent? Millions of drummers, 4 million generals, are all accompaniments, all merely needing to shout for the general in the tent to gather the might of a supreme god of war. How could there be such a bizarre tune? What's the name? Sima Changkong said in surprise. General's order. In the distance, Gu Hai answered the queries of the ghosts on the side.